the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Village Hall will be closed on Monday, May 30th, Memorial Day. Pothole repairs, I think they're actually beginning today, but you'll have them finished in the next 2 weeks. Village election is June 21st from 12 to 9, and we're looking for inspectors, which I think we have them now, right, from last week? Or they might already, that position might be filled. The planning board is having a public hearing for subdivision on Bayview Court for number 6 and number 8 on June 6th. They also are changing their monthly meeting from June 13th to June 6th. Reports, public safety.
Okay. We had incident reports. We had 4. 1 assist to university police, 1 harassment, 1 open burning, 1 informational. Parking warnings 25. Tickets issued 3. Courtesy house check 6. Pet warnings 1. Code violation warnings 2. And special parking requests 18.
Joe, do you have anything?
Yes, I just wanted to mention a few things. So we had in court, the May court will be fairly active. There's a number of things that the code enforcement has been working on, public safety has been working on that will come up. And we did, the other thing is I did provide the model building code that to Jeff a few days ago to look at, and it's a really, it's a lot of work and a lot of time to get involved with this for the village. So maybe what we could do is combine that at the public hearing and then just start. Excuse me. Maybe we should leave that out for the public hearing. Just focus on the zoning changes.
Okay.
So I'll do some suggestions about the zoning changes, and
For the definition.
right. And I'll keep plugging to see if there's any feedback on the this building suggestions for the building code.
Okay. Do you want to do it at the same time like we did last time, where we did the public hearing for the code and then to get input on the other
Yeah,
issue?
if you get everybody together, I assume that we'll use the library or something for these
Right,
kinds of things.
okay.
So if you get a good-sized group, then we can get a good discussion going.
I don't think Roger's here, but he had asked to be added, but he didn't send anything, so let him know he was added. And then,
I just have one other thing. I just want to mention. We talked about alternate members before. Alternate members are really for conflicts. Where a member can't sit an application for a conflict. They're not really. So you have 9 people instead of 7.
Okay.
So
Or to fill a position if someone leaves permanently, correct?
no,
No? Okay.
the alternate members is really for when there's a conflict on a particular application.
Okay. So, is there been a problem with not being a quorum for a lot of meetings? I mean, I know of 2.
I can't say. We've had meetings, so there must not be. We have quorums.
Okay.
Well, Roger did say that they needed more because apparently, like the other night, the meeting went on, but it was touch and go there for a while. And I mean, if they had a cushion, he did say that to me. So I don't know whether or not an alternate is somebody who would still be required to go to every meeting.
It's really
Be available, how that would work. But he said to me that they would like to have more people, 2 more people. As he said, called them alternates. I don't know if there's another way to look at
Okay,
it.
so maybe you could contact Roger and see.
Okay.
That would be what I would do. Leave it up to him and just see what we can do to help.
Okay. Harbor Desk, anything?
Yeah, we had a Harbor Commission meeting on Wednesday. Pete Katrakis was there. I don't know if too many people know, but he's the harbor master for the last 20 years, and he had a stroke over the winter, but relatively minor, and he's already out of rehab, and he was at the meeting. But he's still out on disability, so there is a new harbor master who's going to be filling in for him full-time. They're bringing in a part-time harbor master as well. They'll be out there 7 days a week, starting on Memorial Day weekend. The harbor master nowadays can carry a gun. I know Poquott was one of this 15, 20 years ago when they first started it, the position, and so they will be carrying a gun. And just a quick announcement, the Maritime Festival is the Poquott Maritime Festival is set for June 11th to the 12th. And the last thing, the town of Brookhaven is very concerned about water pollution in the harbor, particularly fecal coliform. And they presented this graph. You really can't see it, but it's a very simple graph. It spikes, begins to go up in mid-June, spikes around early August, comes back down in mid to late September. And that's because of, unfortunately, boaters illegally dumping their sewage into the harbor.
Mm-hmm.
And what town of Brookhaven would appreciate is if all the villages that are on the Port Jeff waters or the adjacent harbors of Poquott and Conscience Bay, that anywhere that there is a launching ramp, anywhere that there is a privately owned dock or village or a town-owned dock, also any kind of marina, private or otherwise, they want to post signs reminding people that it's illegal to discharge, and also giving them simple directions to where to go to properly empty their holding tanks. And so that really involves our village, and it involves Poquott, where there is a ramp and a marina, and of course Port Jefferson. So they would provide the signs, and they just want the villages to give permission for, I guess I would put the village signs up for us. And it just simply reminds folks that it's a no discharge area, and it tells them free of charge. There's a pump out boat, what channel to go to. The boat will come to your boat and pump out alongside. There's a self-service pump out barge located in the middle of the harbor that you can pull up alongside, and there will be a land-based self-serve pump out station at Danford's Hotel and Marina. So they will provide the signs, and I would assume the thing to do for our village would be place them on the dinghy racks.
Mm-hmm.
And I certainly
Are these going to be paper signs, or are they going
No, they're going to provide real signs.
So,
But this is the sign.
We have them?
No, we don't, what, those signs? No, no.
No,
I'm talking about, if we're gonna if we're gonna get a sign from them, we're
Right.
gonna need the poles and the installation and all that.
I
Or we
thought,
can, John, you
yeah,
know,
I believe it can go just nailed into the side of the
the
dinghy
dinghy
rack.
rack, just to have it up there.
But that's where all boaters basically go to
Right.
before they take their boats out from our village.
I think that would be fun.
Yeah, and it
Great
would be
idea.
kind of, and it would also be right near the
One less
launching
pole.
ramp.
One less pole.
Yeah, great idea.
Yeah, so,
Maybe an attachment
One of
with
the
the
signs
mooring
come-
application.
copy could go with the mooring, but it's a little too late for this season. Certainly next year.
What are they coming?
Well, they should be here. They believe now. This is town of Brookhaven talking, of course. By it's June 8th is the next Harbor Commission meeting. So hopefully they will be delivered to us then. I'd like to see 3 signs for us, one for each of our 3 dinghy racks that we have around the village. So,
How are they ever gonna control that, if they don't have
well,
people out there?
I know, but it doesn't hurt to remind people how easy it is to find a discharge. It's not like there isn't one. There are 3, and one will come right to you. You just call them up on channel 73 on your marine radio. They will come to find you. You pull up alongside and pump it out. And usually people throw them like a couple of bucks tip, but that's, and they make jokes about what a so-and-so job it is.
Okay, anything else?
That's it.
Okay, public comments?
I have 3 things I wanted to address. Regarding that problem with the roadway on Washington, there's one right across from Jeff's house that is in the exact same situation, where a truck and the water piles up there as well. Well, actually, I have 4 things. The water is piling up constantly every time it rains on Walnut Beach.
Have you want to address that, because we talked about it, and you know that's confident.
Well, the one
Okay. And then, I accept how most of the board feels about me, but I'm a resident and deserving, at the minimum, an answer to the emails that I've sent. I've sent many emails regarding the election inspector position prior to you sending out an email, Mayor Parish, of asking that you didn't have any. And not one has been responded to. And I've also come into Village Hall and left messages, and nobody has gotten back to me. And the third thing I wanted to ask Joe Poquott, will the village be considering limiting only the rental houses as to the amount of occupants versus bedrooms, or homeowners as well? And is this a violation of one's civil rights if the law doesn't pertain to all?
It's not a village limitation, it's a state code limitation, and it's applied to all structures in New York State. It's not all residential structures. It's not applied to different structures.
Okay, so if a homeowner has too many people in, we're gonna have the same law?
I didn't say that. I said that it applies to all structures.
Okay, so it's
And it's a
going
New
to be
York,
across
it's a
the
New York
board.
State law. It's not.
Okay.
It's not a village law.
Okay. All right, thanks.
I've spoken to a couple of people about it. I thought you were, after one of the Civic Association meetings, maybe you were, just talking about what could be done at the bottom there. The issue has to do with not only the water accumulating, but it's also a runoff issue, and that ties in with the marsh area inside. And I say we, but it's really my idea would be to kind of raise up that back area, but also have it tilted towards the marsh a little bit so that it drains into the marsh, because the marsh really is the receptacle for the runoff for that area back there. So the problem is, though, we need to be able to raise the road sufficiently to do that. And you're talking about a lot of blacktop, it's like a major fix, and the road needs to be resurfaced because it's all pothole. Even when there's no water, it's a mess. So we need to do it. So it's a question of money. And the way this came up was that there was a grant out there that I thought we could grab that would allow us to pay for it. And it turns out it was very specific. The grant was for something very specific, and this wasn't it. So we didn't even get to step one. There is probably a way that we could somehow put a drainage ditch in there, but they keep filling up. But the real issue is money, because even if we did that, we have to resurface that area. It's just not nice.
Oh, I agree. But my concern also is when you were redoing Maybach, we were told that that water collection had to do with mosquitoes, and that's a public health issue, as this would be a public health issue as well, because that water is really large amounts that stay there for days.
You're talking about in the road?
In the road.
I would think that that's the least of it compared to the water that
Well,
accumulates in the marsh.
But the water was an issue on Maybach to do with the mosquitoes. So why is it Maybach different than this?
Well, I don't want to talk about Maybach. It's really
I'm talking about the water and
Right,
mosquito
okay,
issues.
I'm thinking that I'm addressing the point, which is that nobody wants mosquitoes or no mosquitoes. We have runoff that goes down to that area,
I get it.
and it stays there.
I get it.
If we can channel it into the marsh, then that makes it easier for the traffic to the beach.
Okay, now let me ask
Okay,
you.
so now, the problem is now that you're raising regarding standing water, is that the marsh, except in long dry stretches, always has standing water there.
Correct.
So if you're talking about mosquito control, I share your concern, and I was just talking about it the day before yesterday with my next door neighbor. Yeah, we need to kind of think about that. I don't know that as a village we get involved directly with mosquito control, the spraying and stuff like that.
Well,
It's just an issue.
spraying is an issue because of chemical into the harbor.
So, I mean, I would welcome anybody's input who would say, here's how I would feel comfortable approaching that. Apparently, when you hear them spraying Fire Island and spraying all these different areas, they must be using something that is relatively non-toxic. So I would defer to whoever has that expertise.
And could I ask just one more question, and then I'm sure other residents have questions. What your future plan or thought pattern is, would we need a DEC permit to do that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I'm just asking.
Oh, yeah. And that's part of it. when you really get into what's involved in that,